and they decide to keep the baby, and if I don't want it, I should not be obliged to pay maintenance or whatever they call it.
Viewers, yo, welcome back. The gents are back again. Guys, this is random podcast with the gents, right? Random conversations with the gents. But then, anyways, I understand some viewers are saying we need a lady on this podcast. And I understood what you said. I heard you. But then today, just this week, something happened, guys. But I'm sorting you out. Next week, I promise. Next week, I promise. I'll have a lady on this podcast. One of these gentlemen is being kicked out. But anyways, now that we are here, guys, I've met so many of you during the week, and you said, we love the podcast. Keep up the work. And guys, we love you too, guys. You're the ones who make this happen. Share with your friends. Like, subscribe. The more people hear this, the more people get to know about how we're living in Cyprus and all of these kind of things. But anyways, we said random. Take note. Gents. Gents, I feel the pain because you gents are not prepared. But I bring some random surprises to you. Anyways, who are you, gentlemen? First of all, if these people don't know you, some who didn't watch from last week, who are you, gentlemen? Who's this?
I'm Comrade Brothers.
Comrade Brothers.
Yeah, Comrade Brothers. Brothers for brothers.
Yes. Brothers, Comrade Brothers.
Comrade Brothers. So
all right. It's okay. Yes. It's okay, man. And the other random dude.
That one is a church name. I'm called Easy.
Easy Fortex.
Yes, Fortex is my surname. My name is actually Israel Mafoti. So if you take Easy from Israel and then Fortex from Mafoti, and you mesh them together, guys, then you create an entrepreneur.
You know these things we did in high school of making street names and stuff. This guy is a street name, guys.
It's working though.
All along I thought Fortex is Forex.
No.
It's a Forex name and it's also a street name. This guy is gangster, man. Like, what about the dude, the random dude?
Hello, viewers. I am Michael Tobayo, but everyone calls me Tobs.
The one and only, the Tobs. So, guys, we've made you wait long enough. I know you want the question already. I also want to know what these guys think. I'm not contributing anything, by the way. Guys, today we are talking about feminism, guys. Yeah.
That one is what?
Yeah. Feminism. The good part. First of all, like, what is feminism to you guys? What does it mean to you guys?
Is there a
feminism?
Good part, bro?
Huh?
Is there a good part?
There's a good part, man. There's a good part to this. I want to know, what is feminism to you guys?
Not when we talk about it. But, okay, we'll try to find the good part.
All right. But what is feminism? Tell me, James.
From what I understand, so there is what feminism is defined as, and what feminism is being portrayed as now. Those are two different things.
Exactly.
The definition of feminism is the pushing of the feminist movement in order to provide equality of opportunity.
Oh, so it's all about equality, you know, for
of opportunity,
regardless of the gender. So it's just whether it be for a man, it be for a woman. We want it to just be 50-50.
Equality of opportunity.
We're not trying to put anyone above anyone.
Not equity, but equality of opportunity.
Not equity. Bro, that's good English, man. That's good English. Come on, brothers. The Leonard one. What's this thing?
I would want to separate the word. When he was giving what he thinks feminism is, or what feminism is, what came to my mind is the ism. Okay. Feminism, socialism, capitalism, tribalism. Right. So there is an emphasis on something. When you take something, not as it is, and you practice it.
Yeah.
The isms, its movement. And the very fact that it says femi, then we are told it balances sexes or gender. There is something wrong already because you have categorically stated femi.
Okay.
It's an overemphasis of the other gender. It's not taking into consideration both.
Brothers, tread
Feminism.
lightly.
Also, it means there's an overstatement of some
More
like
of the feminine side.
more like this whole Black Lives Matter thing, whereby there's more emphasis. Of course, White Lives Matter, but there's more emphasis on Black lives because of something that has happened.
Yes.
So feminism is concentrated more on the female side.
Yes.
It's more like not a female movement, but a movement biased towards the female side.
It's a female which, if we had to give it gender, it's female. If we had to objectify it, it's female by gender. It's female. It should wear dresses. It should do makeup. It should. It's female.
Guys, just also give us your definitions of feminism. You know, we are in this together, guys. We are in this together. I want to understand your definitions of what feminism in your own sense. Remember, we're not using dictionaries for this or Google or whatever. We want to go with what's there right now. What do people think? What do people think here in Cyprus about feminism? You know, and is it a good thing or is it a bad thing in general? Feminism in the concept of Cyprus. Mind you, we're in Cyprus, right? Well, we don't want to look at the States or the UK. We want to look at it right here. Whether feminism is actually a good thing. The equality, the equal promotion of opportunities and everything. Do you regard it as it being a good thing? And do you think here in Cyprus, we really need more of that feminist movement? Do you think there's a side that is short-handed?
I would say, based on his definition, like it's more supporting the equality of opportunity. But what we forget is, or what most feminists forget is that the equality of opportunity does not translate to equality of outcome.
I see.
Right.
I see.
So we might give a same opportunity, but the outcomes are different. But unfortunately, feminists now, they focus on the equality of outcome, which is impossible to achieve. It's impossible to achieve. If you give, just because we are different, someone who's a female and someone who's a male, we are built different. We can never deny that. Right? Even people who are Christians, even people who are not Christians, they concur that a male and a female, they are built different. Our muscles are different. Everything, like our genitalia are different.
Yes.
Right? So there can never be an equality of outcome. Right? Even though there's equality of opportunity. Let's say, for example, the reason why men cannot compete in female sports, it's because the equality of outcome will be different.
Yeah.
It will be different because we are not the same. So we might. I understand if feminists are saying that yes, we want equality of opportunity. If they are crying for equality of opportunity, which I strongly agree that equality of opportunity is actually more favored to females. Because to be honest, I'm coming from an African country. If you're doing an A level, right, and you want to study law in my country, that's Zimbabwe, right? You want to study law. If you're a man, you will need, if you're studying maybe 3 subjects, you need 15 points.
Yeah, more points.
You need 15 points for you to study law.
That means you got A's in all of your subjects.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you're a female, you will need like 12 points. They are okay. You know why? There's been an equality of opportunity. We both wrote the same exam, but the equality of outcome was different.
Oh my goodness. This brother uses good English, man. Good English. But from my limited knowledge and understanding of English, there is an example that jumped into my mind. So we are saying that there's a construction job here. But generally, if it's given to a man and it's given to a female, the outcome is going to differ. What's achieved during that day is really going to be different. So we are saying, even though we might afford the same opportunity to everyone, there's now the emergence of gender roles, so to say, whereby we also give you office jobs, desk jobs, because you are a female. We also give you the hard labor, carrying card boxes and everything. So here in Cyprus then, because I've heard oftentimes other people complaining about job opportunities and stuff like that, that for females, they are getting these restaurant things and everything. And also females are saying, our job opportunities are limited. If you're a male, you can go for construction, you can go for all these kind of weird jobs that as females, if we try, we are told no. We also want the same opportunity. It's harder to live in Cyprus as a female than to live as a male. Do you think that is correct?
Allow me to use an example. An illustration. We are here. We are 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have a wall. There's a wall here. And there is a 2-year-old. He's 2. He's 2. He's 10. He's 15. He's 20. That means even our heights are different, right? Yeah. And we all want to see what's behind the wall. Yes. Then there are chairs that we can use or improvise to stand on so that we see. Yes. If we give each other a single chair each, say a single chair is enough for you to see. Is it going to be enough for this 2-year-old to see? No. And if we are to give each other a single chair, would we have solved the problem, the issue here?
No.
Is it going to be bad if we know that this one requires 10 chairs to see, and we take the 10 chairs that are there and we give him, and us, according to whatever our heights, we get the enough chairs that we need to see? Are we going to have wasted on him? And should anyone complain of having favored the other one with 10 chairs in this scenario?
No,
because our idea was so that all of us can see behind the wall. That's about equality and equity. So it might not be the construction job.
Yeah.
It might not be the office job. But if it means you are supposed to give an extra somewhere to balance things, do it. That is the whole purpose of equality.
Tobes, I see you have something to say, bro. You're burning with something.
I want to bring a different perspective, actually. Mine is a question. So, is it then equity to say that we are equally opportune to roles of leadership?
Bruh, come again, bruh.
To say if we're going to need a president for, let's just say, the community of Zimbabweans in northern Cyprus, is it then an equally opportune thing to say a woman and a man can both take up the role and the outcome of what is required is the same?
Definitely not. I disagree, because if you actually take a look about a lot of women, higher percentage of women are called to be agreeable, right? They are agreeable people. Women generally, they are agreeable people, and agreeable people are not good for business. I want to, I'm telling the truth. Like, if you're going to have an agreeable manager, he's not good for business. You know why? Because he will agree to everything.
Yeah.
Right? And generally, women are agreeable.
Right.
The reason why the outcome of maybe a manager who is not agreeable at a company is going to be better than someone who is agreeable. It is because he's not a yes man. He's not agreeable to everything. I'm not saying every woman is agreeable. If you can take something away from this, as a woman, do not be agreeable in life if you want to do business. Right? If you want to be a good manager, if you want to be a good someone who is in life, who supplies something, who brings value in life, do not be agreeable to anything. I'm not bashing women and saying that because they are agreeable, they are not good for business. But it's a life lesson to them. So if you're an agreeable person, you're not good for business. Whether you're a man or a woman, there are men who are agreeable. They're not good for business. So from what you're saying, if you give just because a higher percentage of women are agreeable, most likely, right, if you give a same opportunity to a man and a woman, just of leadership, just because those people are different people. Most men are not agreeable. Most women are agreeable, right? If you give someone who is agreeable a role of leadership and someone who is not agreeable a role of leadership, someone who is not agreeable, right, might have a better results than someone who is agreeable.
You are not agreeable.
Moderator, allow me to put to this gentleman. I'll put it to you, my brother, that you belong to that society, that patriarchal society, brother.
Hey.
And why? I would actually, I understand you to a great extent. I understand you coming from a Zimbabwean setup where, have you ever seen an immature 40-year-old lady?
Yes.
A 40-year-old lady, immature.
They are there.
The chances are high you will find 40-year-old teenager boys.
Of course.
40-year-old teenager men. Yes.
We know
those
one.
ones you can find.
We know one.
Those ones you can easily find. Those ones you can easily find. Ladies in our society, you know the example that you gave about enrollment in universities, why the lower kind of over the seemingly lower standards for ladies. Young girls are forced into maturity when growing up. One, you get there, you find a 9-year-old is already making sure her siblings have eaten before they leave for school.
Yeah.
When she comes back from school, she has to do the dishes. And what is happening to a similar 9-year-old boy is out there playing.
Yeah.
So she has to make sure the family has eaten, dishes have been done, the house has been swept, chores have been done. So she's forced to mature. She's not able to play with her age mates. She's already doing what adults are supposed to be doing. You have all the time, you are playing out there. And we expect you to perform the same way like her in class. She'll be sleeping, she's tired. She doesn't rest. So she does not have the same opportunity as you. No wonder, when then we get to the exams, you cannot perform the same. But take women from first world countries or countries that do not, I don't want to call it child labor, but in other modern societies, that is child labor. You should allow a child to play. It's a right to play, not to be a parent. Not to, it's easy for parents to say, I'm going out, I'm going to town, I'm going to leave kids with this young girl, a 15-year-old girl, than to live with a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah. Wow.
It's easy for them. So that's why they then say, okay, for you to study law, if you're a lady, let's just put a blanket. We won't say those who are from the rural areas and those who have maids at home, we separate. We cannot do that. For logistical issues, let's just say for ladies, allow them. Because at one point in time in their life, they are forced to do what is beyond them. Allow them. So now, you see, now you already concluded that they are slow. They are agreeable. It's because they were taught to be mature when they were young.
No, but I'm saying generally, it's a study. If you go on the internet, it's a study that shows that women are more agreeable than men. Right?
I would want to look at it from both your perspectives. Firstly, in that maybe in entering into leadership positions that were previously only populated by men, women in wanting to please or to prove competence begin to adopt ideas and want to implement them from everyone. Then at the same time, even if women come in who are highly competent, because of the egotistical behavior of a man, of not wanting to be under a woman, of not wanting to have to report to or to be run by a woman, it may seem that they are now incompetent because of the incompetence of the people that are supposed to be doing the work that this woman is saying they should do.
Yo, guys, there's been so much English to process and swallow here. But, yeah, feminism. Feminism is just something else. Huh? So, these gentlemen have different views, guys. Like, some think women can not tackle what a man can tackle. Some think men and women can tackle the same things. And some think maybe we have to be a bit lenient to women because of also what? The way they are raised. What about you? What about you guys? Like, guys, this podcast, there's us and there's also you. We also want to know what you think because we'll address all of these things also what? Even in the next podcast. So I also want to know what you guys are thinking. You guys, especially here in Cyprus, I want to understand what you guys are thinking. Because I've heard others complaining about jobs. Others complaining even about, a woman, she's being taken care of by her parents because there's nothing she can do. Do you think there's something she can do also to take care of herself? Or is it just, if you're a woman in Cyprus, then you're weak, you have to wait for your parents, and if you're a man, you have to hustle. It also pains other men, say, why am I being treated this way? I also want to get the same treatment. But, gents, I have a second question. Because this feminism, you want to tackle feminism again. This feminism will take us in circles. That's why I have to cut this and hold it until these guys also comment.
One point though, I think the risk that we are running as mostly I'll speak for African women is that we have been caught up in this thing of feminism, right? And we don't know where it started. We don't know who started it. And we have been caught up in this thing just because we want to push something that we want, particularly for that day or for that moment, right? For example, these people who started the feminist movements, these people were working classes, the women who were working classes, right? Imagine you're coming from Africa, you don't have a job, you don't have any way to support yourself, and you're busy saying that I'm a feminist, I don't do what a man says, but you want that man's money to support you.
Brother.
So at the end of the day, I'm not saying that men should mistreat women just because they give them money.
All right.
But I'm saying that you cannot push a movement that cannot sustain you, or that you yourself you cannot work in that movement and sustain yourself in the movement that you are pushing.
So feminism, some are just taking it from levels above. But guys, do you also know where feminism started? Me, I don't even know. This whole feminist thing, me, I'm a feminist sometimes. Sometimes I'm a feminist when I also need females to do some other things. But on that feminist note, there's now an issue of abortion. This one is burning. You know, in America, I think a couple of months ago, there was, I think it's different for every state even, that some states, they passed the abortion bill, some states, they say no to abortion and stuff like that. And here in Cyprus, we see these things. We know these things are happening. Perhaps one of you gentlemen, someone saying you sponsor, and then after you sponsor, you see them when they're walking home, they are now buying each other. Gentlemen are buying Chicken Planet. We're like, babe, you were strong today. We meet you at Chicken Planet there sometimes. But what do you think about abortion, guys? Like, because it's being done so much here in Cyprus, right? People are just agreeing, we're not ready. It happened. But what do you think about abortion then? Is it, because females also feel disadvantaged to say, this is my body, and if I don't want to do this, I should have control over it. right? So what do you guys think about abortion? Like, should she have control over this? Should also the men get to decide whether they abort? Is it like their decision? Is it even a good decision in the first place to even do that abortion? Or is it something that you have to leave to say, if she doesn't want it, then that's it. If he wants it, then that's it. As a man, you also don't have power. Abortion.
I believe, when it comes to abortion, if women wants to have power to abort and say that this is my body and do whatever I want, if they want to have that power to abort and do whatever they want with their bodies, what they say their bodies, then as men we should also have power to say that I'm not going to keep this child, I'm not going to support this child. Right? If she has a power to say that I'm going to abort this baby because it's my body, I do whatever I want, then me as a man, I don't have a say to say I do not abort because it's maybe your religious background says it's not good, right? And she says no, I'm going to abort, right? So as men generally, we should also have the power to say that if I impregnate someone, right, and they decide to keep the baby, and if I don't want it, I should not be obliged to pay maintenance or whatever they call it.
Yay. Nah, I told you guys, next week we have a female. Brothers, yeah, you've been thinking.
It's a sad thing, actually. It's a sad thing. And I'm kind of tempted to approach it from my religious perspective. But then I would not want to do that now.
Take it however you want.
Okay.
However you want.
Because clearly, where there's abortion, I believe there is one who is in a position of privilege and the other one who has no option. Because to abort means you conceived a child. And you conceive a child through a known process. 1, sex. 2, unprotected sex. 3, no contraceptives. So there is someone, surely there is someone who is in a position of privilege.
This is not a mistake.
It's not a mistake. That's number one. And secondly, to abort, it's a 50-50 chance.
All right.
You risk dying. So it already, for some reason, concludes to us who is on a position of privilege here. And who is doing it because has to do it.
All right.
So we have to go down then to the roots to say what exactly has been causative to this. Because if then we get so comfortable to discuss whether one who should decide, we have accepted that we have failed. We have failed on it. It's something that is already loose. It's out there. And we can't tame it. We have taken a position of saying, okay, now let it be a decision of who should decide. I want to remove. We're talking about death here. We're dicing on death.
Yeah.
And you do it 1, 2, 3 times. You're 21, you're 22. Remember, no one will be young forever.
Yeah, that's true.
There are some decisions that we make when we are young, and they'll catch up with us in our 30s. You're no longer here. You'll not stay here forever. You are back in Mozambique. You are back in Zambia. Then you ask yourself, you did this for what? For an iPhone 12? For an iPhone 13? There are people who dropped out of school in 2008 when there was an iPhone 4. An iPhone 4. Today there is an iPhone 14.
Plus 10.
I don't know where iPhone 6 is. There are people who have consequences of iPhone 6. But they have to live with them. Some are sick because of iPhone 7. But right now iPhone 7 is there. You get there, no one will care about it. They don't want it. So just know that nothing lasts forever. And iPhone 7 is not so old. It's recent, after 2010-11 there. And it's not so long ago. Some of us were coming here. Actually, when I came to the island, there was no iPhone 11. There was no iPhone 10. I came in 2017. What was there? Was it not iPhone 8?
Yeah.
When I came here, there was iPhone 8.
It was burning.
You see? So let's understand that these things we do have far-reaching consequences.
Yeah. That tops.
This is a very walk on eggshells kind of topic. There's so many situations, so many possibilities that the outcome can then be what? Abortion. Let me say I think we dabbled in transactional relationships in our last years, and it so happens that in some of these transactional relationships, because of the means of payment now, sometimes it is not because of want, but sometimes our sisters are forced into these situations for payment per se, and the choice is not theirs. To an extent, the choice is not theirs in that particular moment. That the outcome was was a child, and now there's the living with the consequence, like my brother was saying, that has now arisen, and sometimes they actually want to keep it. Sometimes they want to keep the child, but also because of the complications and the complexities of the transactional relationship, it's not a choice you can easily make. There are so many ways to coerce you to choose to do abortion. So it's also not such a simple topic in which we can conclude that you just decide that, it's not always one person who holds the power to have an abortion or not. Sometimes it's the guy on this end. They can make things difficult for you, so you have to do it. And like you were saying, after now, if things go well, that's when they'll be like, you did well, you did.
But I have a question. But should the consequences of your doing be fell on the child that has been conceived? First of all, can we establish that the child that has been conceived is a human being? First of all,
yes, it's a child.
It's a human being.
Someone.
Then, if you are going to kill the baby just because you are trying to run away from the consequences of your pleasure, is that not the same of just going the streets and having pleasure and just killing people?
Gents. In Shona we say mazo dipisa. This has gone deep now, because now right. So there's the aspect of killing a child. So you're making a choice to kill a child, but then there's also an aspect that you raised of consequences, circumstances, forcing someone to actually kill a child. So this person does not want to kill this child, but the way things are looking, they have to do it. So it doesn't matter now anymore on whether they actually have the power to make the choice, but then whether they choose to do it or they choose to not do it, they will still suffer.
Charlie, I think they should first have the power to control. Okay, my mic was a bit far. I'm sure they need to have the power to decide on their sex first.
All right.
Most of our sisters, most of these ladies here on the island, they have no decision on how they have sex and who they have sex with. they have no decision. You did not get me. They have no decision. When I'm saying they have no decision, we spoke about opportunities before. Fast forward, we are living in a fast-paced life here.
All right.
So, someone gets hooked up on Instagram, then a guy, those with means. Remember, these are transactions. Yeah, those with means, quick. And because she knows if you play around, the others were waiting out there. So you have to be quick, huh? Yeah, if you're taken out, you drink the more weights and you do whatever. You are taken to Kavada, you're taken to some hotels. And once you go to a hotel with a stranger, what do you expect?
Yeah, you pay.
Are you going to a hotel to have an all-night prayer? Huh? You are walking into a hotel with a stranger that you have just been talking to on Instagram.
In a room with one bed.
In a room with one bed.
Hey. Yeah.
With a guy who has spent on you. And you expect to speak in tongues in that room.
Yeah.
You expect a short sermon from him. A message. No, definitely nothing. Yeah. So already you're asking yourself, if I say no to him, what's going to happen? I've already done this. You no longer have control. You have lost it. That's the first. And if you are bought for A today and you break up, when you move on to B, you cannot use this as an excuse to B, because B has nothing to do with what happened to A. B comes with his style, fresh. And if he walks you through that again, you have to abort again. Yeah. And when you break up with B and you move on to C, you have no excuses of A and B. You start afresh. And if he brings his terms and conditions, you are supposed to walk through them. Unless and otherwise you get hold of your life back and say, who am I? Should everyone I meet sleep with me? And if it happens, how?
So sex in general on this island has become very easy. It's just everywhere. So that's why there's so many abortions, because sex is now in abundance.
You know the problem, where the problem is, where I have the problem with abortion. People want to start to have rules when it's now the baby's there. You now have standards. You now have an image to protect when the baby is now there. But you didn't have an image to protect when you're doing unprotected sex. You didn't have an image to protect when you're doing sex on its own with just someone you just met. Right. So at the end of the day, you start want to have rules. You say that this is my body. Was it not your body when you're having sex with that person? Now you start want to control, because it's something you want to control an outcome that you want. So that's where I have a problem with abortion. Because at the end of the day, we start to make decisions after we have failed to make a decision. The decision was supposed to be made before you make a decision to abort.
All right. Yeah, wait. I got something big from this. So the big error, I'm not bashing you, ladies. The big error, this gentleman say, is on the female side. Basically, you have more control over this, right? Because you get to choose who you sleep with. I mean, boys will be boys. These boys are hungry. These boys are out there in the streets hunting. You are the important thing here. You are the important variant. So if you get to decide now that Charlie, you have no chance, then you're not going to deal with these things, right? You're not going to have to deal with these things. But I understand boys will be boys. But I also want this to end on a very positive note. So first of all, what advice do you guys have? First of all, to the guys, I know for guys, especially this will be a wasted segment of this podcast, because the guys, even though you advise them, they will still go into it. But what advice do you have for the guys, right? And then, what advice do you have for the girl child out there? Ladies, I'm looking out for you. Please listen to this part very carefully. What advice do you have for the girl child in Cyprus right now, who has had to abort, right? Or who hasn't had to abort, but is going through this sexual period, is being hunted, basically. What advice do you have to offer them? in terms of how they can maneuver. Because we've concluded that abortion indeed in itself is a bad thing. Where we went with the question is trying to justify a bad thing, right? Trying to give power to someone to do something that is bad. But what advice do we have in terms of preventing this to not get there in the first place for both gentlemen and ladies?
You don't have sex. Actually, you don't get obese by having sex. There is only one outcome. When you have unprotected sex, a child is born.
All right.
So stop random sex. Stop it.
Random.
Stop random sex. Have it planned. Have it done the proper way.
All right.
Stop random sex with strangers. You're growing old.
Stop random sex. Girl child. This one is crucial because it happens in Cyprus. I know some are saying, what is random sex? Guys, in Cyprus, random sex is there. You just hear someone saying, me yesterday, I don't know where I woke up. You don't know. How? Stop random sex, guys. Stop random sex. Let tobs. All right. The Fortex. The tobs is in his thoughts.
All right. I'll give this advice to my brothers. Brother man, if you did something, or you are doing something, or you have done something, take care of something that you have done.
All
right. Stop forcing people into situations where there will be murderers of killing someone or something, or we'll call it someone because it's a human being, right? Stop forcing people into situations like that where they have no choice but to murder someone. If you have done something with someone, take responsibility. Be a man. That's what is called a man. Be a man. Work. If you are supposed to go to ish, make money, work for your child, because there's no way you're going to put that child. You need to keep that child. You need to pay school fees for that child because you have decided to make the child. So take care of the child.
I'm a gents. This one I say it very serious. I'm not laughing. Stop abusing the girl child, guys. I know in Cyprus we are far from home and things are easy here, but stop abusing the girl child. Letobs. What's up, man?
To the girl child, your virtue is not a currency.
Say that again.
Your virtue is not a currency.
All right.
If you take a look at it, the chase is only as long as you have not yet given it up. So as long as you can hold on to something, as long as you can hold on to that power, then you are okay. You are fine. But once you give it up, that first time, it's over.
So once you give it that first time, it might be protected sex, but then the continuous doing of the thing, that's where you're told, let's try some other things today. Yes. Guys, don't give it up. Don't give it up. Actually, the chase, to be honest, the chase is over. Once it's gone, it's gone. Why should I stay? The chase is over, girl child. Guys, this gentleman just gave their thoughts. What about you? What are your thoughts, man? Like, also, let's advise each other, because to be honest, no one has the formula to this thing. Me also, I don't know. Opportunities come, we do whatever we do. But even I haven't thought about what I would do if I have to deal with consequences of abortion, or if I'm told a child is on the way. That one is tough, guys. That one is tough. To be honest, I'm not even ready. So please tell us, how would you advise me? I'm a brother also. Tell me what I should do right, or what I should fix. Also tell the girl child what should they do. I know there are other people who have reached out and said we are watching from different countries and everything. This is the situation here in Cyprus. I know it might be the situation also where you are, right? And people have dealt with this. But please, tell us. We want your comments, guys. Your feedback is important to us. We want to know what you guys think. So, for today, you gentlemen, thank you very much. We know this was just a short segment. We spoke about feminism. We spoke about abortion, mostly in the concept of Cyprus, because we see these things happening. And these random conversations, we're going to be talking about Cyprus. Because we want our parents out there, our sponsors out there, people out there to know this is what also happens in Cyprus. And those coming should have a guide. How do you maneuver Cyprus, right? Saka, you guys, just share, man. Just like, I don't know, gentlemen, you have something to advertise. You have, I do not know, man. Guys, subscribe, man. Subscribe.
If you have things you want us to talk about, in the comments there, just leave something. We'll discuss it.
So guys,
some of you will invite you actually to the podcast. You come.
Yes. If you say you have I want intelligent minds. If you say you want to be on this podcast, comment. I will call you definitely. Next week I told you have a late. The following week, if you want to be in this podcast, tell me. I will call you. We have some hot topics that we are going to be talking about. Me, I talk a lot. My name is Charlie, doing the most as your host. Bye-bye.